Stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. In today's culture, that's labeled toxic masculinity. But Scripture reveals the truth. Strength rooted in love is biblical masculinity. Make your choice.
Welcome back to the Choice Podcast.
Episode 90.
Nobody did before eat the steak out of the dishwasher follow-up.
You know, I just
Fresh
realized.
off
Do you realize why
you may
I
have
kept...
taken part of our manhood away.
Do you realize why I kept asking, was it too much garlic? Was it too much? I had too much garlic. Y'all didn't. I did.
Oh, yeah, because his vacuum sealed the bag.
Because I did something I've never done here before. Right when I got here, I turned the stoves on, I looked back, and I went and grabbed a candy cane, trying to get that garlic taste out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because I had a mouth of black pepper, garlic, and raw meat.
Dude. So if you're just joining us.
Go back and listen to 89.
He used to be a good friend. Now he's our suspect friend.
Yes.
Joshua cooked a steak in a dishwasher, duped us into eating it. Now we none of us can say we haven't eaten a sous vide, if you call it that, steak.
Hey, I will say it was a pretty good steak.
It wasn't. I gotta say, it really wasn't my favorite, though. I don't think
not my favorite, but I'd eat it again.
I'd eat it again, especially if I was
Just not in the dishwasher.
No, I mean I would eat it the same way if I had to, but
We showed Pastor Tim the video.
Yeah.
He was less than impressed.
Yes. As is usual when it comes to our malarkey. But
we said this a long time ago. They tolerate us more than like what's the word that we would endeavor, but we don't quite achieve.
Yeah.
They don't champion us. They just tolerate us. That's not the right word. Anyways.
They put up with the antics.
They do.
They do. They're good for it.
Yeah, they're good.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
But if you didn't know, Pastor Tim Wilcox of Choice Baptist Church eats sous vide steak.
And apparently because of him, we have skinny jeans.
Also
so
true.
We're now even. That's what he thinks. He thinks it was a prank to get even. No, you tried to prank us. He was just...
he was just, we call that lagniappe in Louisiana.
What's that mean?
A little extra.
Oh, a little extra. Yeah, he was...
lagniappe.
Collateral damage.
Yeah.
He was in the blast radius.
I would call collateral damage makes it sound like I was doing something nefarious. I would say it was lagniappe. It's something a little extra, a little gratis.
You know what's a little lagniappe? You. You're a little extra.
I'm going to have to wash those dishes in 2 cycles this time. Those things aren't clean.
2 times.
2 times.
The problem is every time you use the dishwasher,
It's going to smell like a ribeye.
well, no.
This must be the best thing ever. Listen, put your bacon in the dishwasher. Then
You have to run a lot of cycles.
You want them boys to wash dishes. If it smells like bacon.
Maybe so.
Every time you're going to open the dishwasher and say, there's a steak in there.
I got video evidence.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, look, last episode was a Dr. Fauci dudes in the news. This episode, well, we actually might have one in between this. We're not sure yet.
We may or may not, but we're doing another one tonight
But
anyway.
this one, there's going to be a testimony mixed in there. This one's going to be it's a semi dudes in the news kind of.
Topical?
It's topical in that, like,
that's a good way to put it.
what skills should a dude have in his back pocket?
Yeah.
Meaning, what should you know how to do?
And not like, should you be a doctor? Should you be a lawyer?
No.
Like, what should every guy know? What's a man need to be able to do for his family?
Cook a steak.
Yeah. Like those types of things. So where did this come from, Josh? You mentioned this morning.
I saw two articles. One was a 56-year-old man. I think he was he in Australia, Eric? Do you recall? I think
The one kid, well, I don't know about the man. I saw the kid. The kid was in California.
Yeah, the man I believe was Australia. And there were 3 children drowning at
I don't think I saw this one.
and he was working in a shop where but he was like in eyesight of the commotion of what was going on. And this dude who had no business getting in anyone else's business, right? He just threw his stuff down, ran out to the water, and he went out 3 times, bringing a kid back each time.
Crazy.
And it just shows you, like, the world is a better place when you're a formidable man who knows how to do when stuff goes wrong. You know, Maybe it's maybe it's the shooter guy at the In-N-Out Burger. Are you the kind of guy that can take him down? Maybe it's a little old lady who has a flat tire at church. Are you the kind of guy that can change the tire for her? You know, or are you the kind of guy that's like, I've never changed a tire. I don't know where the spare tire would be, you know? Or maybe are you the kind of guy that's, while everybody else is standing videoing with their iPhone on the beach, letting 3 kids drown, are you going to put your life at risk?
That's the world we live in now. Yeah, dude. That's a whole different, well, maybe it is. We'll talk about that.
And get out there and go save their lives.
I'm looking at the camera when I say this. Don't be the guy that records and doesn't act. Or you're a 10 out of 10 weenie.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons, you're a weenie, and that's just the evidence of it. But here's the reality. If you think you're going to make a whole bunch of money on your great iPhone footage, it doesn't happen like that. No one cares.
Betty.
Literally no one cares who shot the iPhone footage.
And so then there was that, and then there was a kid who actually was recognized by the president last week.
16 years old.
Yeah, 16. He saw a young lady or a young man.
A 10-year-old kid.
A kid drowning, and he basically locked in on this kid. They were getting pounded by the waves, California, and this kid was like, the 16-year-old said, I'm not letting this kid go. And he's just like locked in from behind, got pounded by waves, and then eventually got him out of the water, drug him. He's unconscious, I think, or tired, exhausted. Drug him out of the water, saved his life. So that begs the question.
Well, I would say in that one, the difference in that and the 56-year-old man is not that one is less or more noble than the other. I'm not making that claim. But the 56-year-old man could have said, oh, what's going on over there at the beach? Oh, I don't know. Not my problem. And going back and no one would ever fault him for that, right?
Right.
But he didn't do that. He acted. When there was a need, he rose to it. This kid in the other situation, that was his job. He took that job as a lifeguard and said, if someone's life's in danger, don't worry, I'll be your guy. And when someone's life was in danger and his number was called,
yes,
a little young man stepped up to it.
Be a man. And he was.
I think a lot of it's just the culture we live in. It's all about, well, that's not my job. That's someone else's job.
Yep.
No owner. You're right, Maddie.
There's no ownership. No, it's not.
Nope.
I mean, you look at it.
And it's a me culture.
Yeah.
That's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see.
It's terrible.
Like you're walking through, like say you're walking in the parking lot, you see a piece of trash. Nah, that's not my job. And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty. Hey, I'm not going to pick up that trash.
That's a good point.
I didn't put it there.
But yeah, so it's not, I didn't put it there. I'm not cleaning it up.
Job. And it's the same, but that's very anti-Christian. And here's why I say that. We could go forth, make disciples, right? So there's a lot of the same logic where you see somebody that you should probably say something to about, your faith, Christ, and invite to church, name your thing. I have a story about that. And you don't because you're like, it's not my problem. They'll figure it out. But it is because we're called to do it. Go forth and make disciples. It's that there's two like you have to do some things in that. Go and make, right? It isn't stay and wait, right? It isn't stay and let somebody else do it. It's go and make. You have the onus is on you, and it's the same with a lot of other things in life. Go forth and do something about
action
it.
Words. And action. I think, I don't know who said this, and I'm going to mess it up.
It's not a passive faith, and it's not. And we shouldn't be passive men.
Well, just know that I'm not quoting this properly. I'm going to do my best. And I don't know who said it, but it wasn't me. So I'm not taking credit. I just don't know how to give it to. Anyway, he said there's 4 gospels, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There's actually 5, though. And this guy says it's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and the way you live your life in front of non-believers.
Is your gospel for someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
interesting.
Live your life as a visual representation of the gospel. So if they see you walking around with no care, no concern for anyone else, that's how they see me at work every day. I'm not going to help. I'm not loving. I'm not kind to others. I'm short. I'm angry. I'm short-tempered. I mean, is that making the gospel appealing to them at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Or do they start saying, he's no different than I am? He just has a different label.
Yeah, I've been going through that. This isn't confession; it's just a little bit of insight lately. Because, new job, all this, and like, but I'm still, it's like, and I'm, it's a professional type environment. But like, I've got my little wristband here, the 4, which is a faith-based. I'm like, I'm keeping that on. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care workplace or whatever. I'm keeping it on because if it provides me an opportunity, I'm going to take it. But here's the thing. BC would have probably been like, let me strip it down, let me follow the rules. Now I just don't care. Now I'm like, no, I'm here to stand on my faith. Hopefully, if somebody will ask me about it, and I'll find an opportunity to give it. But before, and even now, today, this week, I'm like, I'm still asking myself that question, which is shame on me for just even having the thought. But that's us. I'm like still fighting what representation is this? I was asking myself recently, is this the good representation of a Christian walk, right? And so a lot of times what we do may not be, but like how do we do that, on a day-to-day basis with people? Like I did a trip for work this week that I've never worked alongside or met some of them, right? And so what does that look like? You know what I mean? Like, and stop. I said this in the book that we wrote is essentially a lot of instructors came up and said, what does an instructor at EWS look like, Expeditionary Warfare School? And they all wanted to be like somebody else that they thought they should look like. And I said, no, it looks like you, right? And it looks like you, and it looks like you. We need 16 individual personalities to make this thing work because it all comes together. And it's the same thing. It's like when somebody says, what does the gospel, what you just said, Josh, what does the gospel to Matty B look like? Well, when he's with you, it looks like you because you're a Christian and he knows that. And for somebody else that knows that, it looks like you as well. So what does that you look like? And so that's just something else I've been wrestling with. But anyways, back on the skills. I will tell you this. I've ran into a guy, the branch manager at Chase Bank today. I won't tell you his name because we were opening up another account for Valor and Honor, switching one over, putting Ty's name on it actually. And I saw on the wall, this is why it matters. Like saw on the wall is a sticker from Cornerstone Church and had a cross on it. I don't know what else it said. And I was like, hey, right as I was leaving, I was like, hey, we'll call him Tim. It wasn't his name. Hey, Tim, I like your sticker. He's like, thanks, man. I'm like, no, I'm asking for a reason. I said, you got a Bible study? He's like, no, not really. I'm like, you do now. Men's study, Tuesdays, 6 a.m. And I don't know if he'll come. That was today. I don't know if he'll be there Tuesday. But that's an opportunity because even today, as I stand here and I'm saying one thing, I don't always think it or feel it that way because I'm sitting there in his office like, do I say something? Nah, I'm good. Nah, do I say something? Leave it be. Nope, I'm set. Finally, I was walking out. I'm like, if I'm going to say to go make, then I need to be the one to do that too. And I was like, you know what? I'm bringing it up. And so I did. But even then, I'm like hesitating to do it. So
you know what I've done with that, and we can get back onto practical skills in a minute, but what I've done with things like that, and I haven't done this every day, so I can't sit here and pretend like I'm pious or something. I'm no different than anybody else. But the times when I've really felt like I need to be sharing my faith, especially at work or wherever, it can be a bit of I don't know what a tense place with my line of work, working in government.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's kind of frowned upon,
A little bit.
And some are more so than others, but anyway, whatever. I just thought if they would ask me, then I'm in the clear. You know what I'm saying? Like if somehow I can provoke them to ask me the question.
Yeah.
And so then in my quiet time, I'm like, all right, God, well, do me a favor. Remind me.
Okay, Josh, what do you need this time?
Yeah. And I'm like, just remind me how real you are today.
Turn the dishwasher an extra 100 degrees so I can cook this steak faster.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm silly.
No, but I mean, like, just say, like, God, hey, I need this.
Yeah.
I need it. I've been a Christian for years now. I still need you to remind me that you're still real and you still move. So here's what I want you to do. If you could, if you see it viable, would you open the door for me to share my faith today?
Yep.
It is freaky how quickly it happens.
Interesting.
I mean, like by coffee that morning.
It's happening.
I'm sitting here, I'm hearing the question in slow motion come out of his mouth, and I'm like,
this is the moment.
oh my gosh,
Look
I
at
didn't
that.
ask him what to say after the question
Oh,
shared.
crap.
Now I'm like,
I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
Fumbling all over my gorilla self.
Your
just
newly trimmed beard.
yeah. Do you eat steak in a dishwasher? Like It's my opening way to
not
share the
helping me.
gospel.
Well, no, I think one thing is in 1 Timothy, it says, be prepared in and out of season to preach the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something that you always, even if you don't have a moment, always have. It's like an elevator testimony or like elevator job interview. If you're in the elevator, you have 2 or 3 minutes to impress somebody or tell them how God has radically changed your life. And I think that's what it looks like. And that's what the putting application, the words here, that's what it looks like to be prepared in and out of season. Because you never know. We could leave here, get gas, and then someone's like, hey, I'm going, like, and you can just like, hey, are you okay?
Well, I think that's right. I think, while I agree with you, I would have agreed with you every day of my life for the last several years, going back a decade or two now. But putting that to practical application was a bit different.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I can say that I agree with you and I believe that scripture, but how do I do it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then I have a friend bring up, man, when I was 20 years ago, I took a trip to Jerusalem, and I walked down to the supposed place where Jesus was
You want to
crucified.
hear something crazy?
And I'm like, what? Like there's an open opportunity to start talking now.
Golgotha, right? Where he was.
Yeah.
That's the alleged. That's where they think on the hill. I saw Josh Howerton mention do a video on his podcast, which I really like him, by the way. He's growing on me. And he was just on Sean Ryan, by the way. But and they shot guns.
They did.
The one critique I had was that old Pastor Josh probably could have been a little more gun savvy
Yeah.
than he was. Although he had good trigger control.
But what I did like was when he's standing next to a well-known Navy SEAL and gun weapons handling instructor, he wasn't trying to act like he knew everything.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't.
He was very, very humble about it. And no, I could use a refresher.
Here's what
kind of thing.
he was humble about. He's a good dude. For as far as I can tell, he seems to be a really good dude. And he's sharp. And here's what he said in this video. Saw it today. Golgotha, this is where Christ was crucified, allegedly. Right? And we can kind of agree with that. It's just outside where the temple is. It makes the most sense, up on the hill. It's a small mountain, they call it, but more like a hill. But he's like, check this out. Okay, we all know this. Christ carried his own cross. Remember this? Passion of the Christ type of thing. Up the hill, did his thing. The Bible doesn't make mistakes. Go back to Genesis 21.
Yeah.
Abraham. Remember what happens in Genesis 21? He grabs Isaac, and he's fixing to sacrifice. He said, your one and only begotten son, although he had two. He said, this is your true son, or your one son, one and only son. He had Isaac, and he said, go 80 miles towards he didn't say village, the area of blank. And I can't, it's escaping me what that is right now.
Yeah.
But when he got there, go look it up, Genesis 21, the region of, it starts with an H, I think. And when he got there, what did Isaac have to do? He carried
The wood
for the fire for him to burn him alive. Okay. And he got to the top of that. And what did he see in the thicket? A ram. And that ram, therefore, is the substitutionary atonement on the same hill. And guess where the region that he sent Abraham to when God said, you need to go here. And he also said in Genesis 20, I will show you the mountain. And when he got there, he said, this one. And he carried that wood,
It's crazy.
his own wood, up that mountain. And God said, stop. Right there. Use that ram. That's the sacrifice. Substituted for his own son. Fast forward 4,000 years on that, which there's no doubt to me. On that same exact mountain was where it came to a completion. Are you telling me?
It's wild.
It's
man.
You're telling me that's there's no, like that is, and Josh Howard mentioned it. I think that's fantastic. But to get us back on track, those folks rescuing them. So they needed these practical skills, potentially CPR, swimming, decent shape.
And then be willing to do the job you said you were going to do. For the young man.
Right.
For the old man, that wasn't his job, but he was capable of doing something. He was capable of providing help when a situation needed somebody to help.
Yeah.
And he stepped in.
So let's do this. Two different situations. You got a piece of paper. You don't know this is coming. You don't either. Put it to text in your phone or something. All right? So, Maddie B, you might have to edit some of this
Prepare
out.
to copy.
In a second, I want you to give us some of that fancy, we wait for something music, like doot, 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 or whatever. And we're going to write down the 5 most important skills, or the first ones that come to mind, that every man should have in his playbook or in his toolkit by the time he's 30 years old. No, we'll say 35. Give him a little time. And we will talk for the rest of the show about why what they are and why we think those are the 5. So give us some of that fancy music. There it is. All right, here we go. And you can take as long as you need. We'll cut it out. Started it over. And then just let us know when you're done. Okay. I have 5. I don't love them. I have 5. I could put different ones on here, but these are the first 5 that come to mind.
I could do the same. I did 5 with a bonus. One bonus one.
Are we good?
So we going 1 for 1? Is that how we're going to do it?
Yeah, let's do that. And mine are in not ranked order.
Same.
Okay.
Not ranked order.
Maddie, you got 5? You good?
Not yet.
All right. So Josh, you go first.
And what we'll do is we'll say, if anybody else put the same thing, we'll say, I have that one too.
Yeah. And we'll say why.
In no particular order.
No particular order. What's your first one?
Basic car maintenance.
Okay.
I had that one as well.
I have a similar one, but that's not the same. Why say that? Why did you... I have basic mechanical knowledge, so I'll expound. But go ahead. You said basic car maintenance.
Because when I was a very young strapping man in my late teenage years, I went on a date with a young girl in my same grade in high school or whatever, and the car broke down. It was smoking, and okay, without knowing anything else, car breaks down, it's smoking. What do you think's happening? What's your first thought?
Well, it's on fire or it's overheated.
There you go. Overheating is probably what it is.
Yeah, it's overheating.
I popped the hood, smoke everywhere, no fire, and I'm looking at it. She comes around, I have my hand on the hood, so I'm looking cool. I'm looking the part. And I'm looking down this engine, looking at the smoke, thinking, oh my gosh, this is my mom's car. I'm gonna be killed. And she said, what's wrong? And I looked at her and gave her the extent of my car maintenance knowledge. I looked at her and I said, the car's broken. That was all I had. And right there, over her came utter disappointment.
Oh yeah, she hated it.
Because her dad probably could have fixed that car.
In a second. She's like, step aside.
She's probably like, we should probably call a man.
Yeah. Maddie B.
You know?
Crazy, man. He laughing.
So I think, I'm not saying you got to be able to rebuild a transmission with a Phillips head screwdriver.
Should be able to change a tire.
That's advanced
But
knowledge.
you should be able to change a
you're
tire.
Change your oil, replace bulbs and stuff like that.
See, you're right. I think it goes beyond that. So, because I think if you know basic mechanical general knowledge,
Yes.
you'll know how to do that thing or be able to figure that out.
Well, yeah. Well,
And I would add-
I would agree. Let me just piggyback on that for a second. If you can change oil, if you can realize your car is out of coolant, is why it's overheating because there's a leak somewhere. You've changed some brake pads before. You've done a few maintenance things. Well, when your water heater breaks down, it's just mechanical stuff. Well, there's no engine here.
All right.
Well, what's giving it power?
Processes are the same.
Yeah. So I'm just following the problem, following the path, and you can kind of figure things out. So basic car maintenance and basic mechanical knowledge, I
Right.
think that fits.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right. And it's things because that'll lead to like changing air filters in the house, basic mechanical maintenance.
I have that also.
Trub-
Fix household stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I combined them all because I wanted it to
That
not
would've been
take up
good.
more than one.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
I think
I'm
like,
a young buck.
I need to know
my
how to.
list is very soft skills
All right.
oriented.
We'll get there.
That's actually important skills.
Yeah, we'll get there. And well, here's the other thing. It's like I need to know how to like drain and restart or re-add oil to the lawnmower.
Yeah.
If the lawnmower doesn't start,
How to
spark
change-
plugs, this, that, other thing, like all that.
Change
Boat
the
maintenance.
blade.
That's what I was telling you. Yeah, sharpen the blades in the lawnmower, which I did this year for the first time ever. I took the cheat route. You know, I did. I went and I did I got a grinder, and I didn't take them off because it would have been really difficult to do that. So I just flipped the thing over. Not the whole mower, but I took the mower deck off, flipped it over, and I used the grinder. And you're supposed to do here's the thing, you're at some goofy angle so it doesn't like,
The sparks
whatever.
don't come back right into
No. You're supposed to sharpen the blade of the lawnmower at a very specific like 27-degree angle.
Yeah. So
Because there's like airflow or something
Yeah.
underneath there or it won't work right. I just winged it and I just like touched them all up. But the other day I was like, annual maintenance, if you want to be a duck hunter and you have a boat, you got to grease the propeller shaft if you have an outboard or if you have a mud motor. Grease the propeller shaft. You got to grease all the other fittings. You got to change spark plugs, air filter, oil filter, all these things. Gas. You got to know how to, make sure you add your preservative in the gas for the winter. All these things you got to do. That's mechanically based. Household items. Change air filters. Troubleshoot your.
What do you
furnace.
do for a toilet that's backed up?
Yeah.
Can you fix that? That happens common. It's a
Oh,
common
yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
How do you fix it? What do? You call somebody because you don't know what to do with a plunger?
Right.
what do you
come
do
on.
if your sink is getting constantly stocked up? Do you call someone or you just go buy some Drano
Yeah,
and a snake?
you could call someone and spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or like if you have basic mechanical knowledge, you can look it up.
Yeah.
And then like you just said, I think it's genius. Work your way through the problem.
Okay, so let's go to your next one.
No, we'll go to Matty B next.
Yeah, Matty B.
So my first one was car maintenance. So
Okay.
the second one I have was de-escalation. It's like how to de-escalate situations.
That's actually a good one. And I have one that's similar kind of in that vein. I have communicate well and tell the truth.
Okay.
I
Why
think,
did you
I
guys
think people
put that?
need to learn that.
Well, because
Why is that a top 5 for you?
because people when they go, if someone's car is acting up, they take it to a mechanic. All they want to do is tell you everything they did and why everything you're saying is not why it's broken. And people just try to escalate situations more than it should, and it ends up sounding like wah 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 wah, and you're just like, okay. So it's just trying to get to the root cause of the situation without calling them an idiot because deep down that's what you want to call them.
You know what I think you'd be really good at? This just occurred to me that with your heart to serve and your experience beyond. How old are you?
26.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I was thinking like 30. Yeah, like you're way experienced,
Yeah.
wisdom wise, beyond your 26-year-old years.
Oh, yeah.
I think you would be a fantastic, like those YMCA program, Big Brother.
Mhm.
I really think you should think
I've
about
thought
something
about
like
it.
that. Yeah,
That's actually a
It'd
great
be
idea.
perfect for you.
Yep.
Right? You talk about like pouring into these like young teens, some troubled, some not. Maybe some don't have a dad. Maybe you know what I mean. And I think Matty B, just to speak this little life into you, like you and that boy or boys would benefit immensely from that. You should consider that.
I've looked into it and just haven't its idea has crossed my thoughts.
Go and make.
I honestly think that would be a huge thing, dude. You would be a massively positive influence in a young kid's life who has no dad or big brother. That would be huge.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next one. You pull one.
Why did you put the soft skill one?
I put communicate because I think a guy who is, intelligent and able to handle himself in a bar fight and can communicate well is the most dangerous guy in the room.
Oh yeah.
And I would say Most guys I know
commands them probably the most respect too.
most guys I know that can handle themselves physically in a fight, in a physical altercation, are generally not the guys that go looking for a physical altercation.
No, they aren't. They're the opposite.
They're
It's what-
usually
exactly what you think.
de-escalating the fight because they're like, I don't want to mop the floor with this
And
guy in
I've-
front of his friend.
That, and I've been here,
Yeah.
and I don't enjoy it. It's a necessity. I'll do it if I have to,
Yeah,
but I don't
And
want to.
That's very much in the vein of a Dr. Peterson. What's his name?
Who are you
My
talking about?
Philosophy guy.
Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson, thank you. It's very much in his vein of you should be. What does he say? You should be. I don't know. I'll just use my own words. Able to do grave physical harm to somebody, and then completely restrained
Yeah,
by yourself, not by others, and that makes you virtuous.
that's the discipline in that.
If you can't knock someone's teeth down their throat and you're passive, that doesn't make you virtuous. It means you have no other option
You have no other option.
but be passive. If you can hurt somebody and you choose to hold that back, that's virtuous. That's what he says. He says it much more eloquently than I just did. But he's a little more educated than I am.
Yeah, and I bet he doesn't cook steak in a dishwasher
He
Maybe.
does eat steak every day, though.
Yeah.
He's
He
a
does?
lion diet.
like us. How about that?
He wouldn't eat the eggs.
Can we call it something besides the diet? A diet. My daughter asked me, "Hey, the other day,
Lion program.
pro
Carnivore program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the meat program, boy.
Yeah.
The lion program.
If it wasn't ever alive, I got no business
agenda,
eating it.
the program. I like that. Diet is just, it's weak and weenie.
It's like retreat.
It's like retreat.
There you
we don't
go.
go on retreats. We don't go
Solid.
on diets. It sounds
Offsites.
too close to die.
Sounds too close to giving up.
We
Yeah.
go to off sites and we have programs.
That's right. All right. You got another one?
No, I didn't even give you any yet.
Oh, I
No, he
said.
hasn't.
I also said tell the truth because I think that's something that people need to work at.
Well, I mean, it builds rapport because you don't want to be hanging around with someone who's constantly just lying for their gain.
Known to be a liar.
Yeah, and then it's
Yeah.
like
you don't
because
ever
you're
want to hang out with someone live.
you're always like looking over your shoulder, like, okay,
And
he
what's their
said one
agenda?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
So
I
what-
have
what's
two.
your-
Now you kind of touched two. I don't know which one I go to first.
Just pick that one.
All right, I'll give you my number 2
Okay.
because it's close to the one you just said. It's how to have a conversation with young men or your children. Of course, your wife. This one's young men or your children, and here's why I say that. Because let's go extreme, endus extremis, or whatever that fancy term is. Let's take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
You can't have a conversation with anybody, and you walk around very recluse. Your kids you'll never connect with your children. You don't know how to raise your boys or your sons or daughters correctly because you can't talk to them and communicate.
Yeah.
And so then they're getting the world from someone else's viewpoint instead of dad's.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's a very important skill. And then just translate that forward. If you want to go and make Matthew 28, right? If we're talking about that, young men in the church or young men anywhere in your lives, as you grow older and gain this wisdom, what's the use of that wisdom, Solomon would say, if you don't pass it on, right? It isn't meant, you're not gaining this wisdom to be selfish with it.
It
in
doesn't
the Christian
live and die
world.
with you.
Yeah, you're gaining this wisdom. You've been given these gifts, we'll call it, so that you can pass them to somebody else. Multiply your gift. The parable of the talents. We've done this one.
Yep.
So I think it's really important for fellas today to be able, and I would say fellas of old could care less about this. I may be misreading history and rewriting it, but I would say that's a more common new age skill is, man, you got to be able to have a conversation and really mentor and influence somebody if it comes up.
No, I don't think you're far off because I think about so my dad was born in the 60s and the relationship he had with his father was a lot different.
I agree. So is my
than-
dad.
Yeah, and then so it's
He's not a soft skill,
no.
have a conversation guy. He'll do it,
Yeah.
but it's not, he doesn't want to connect or he doesn't seek it.
No.
Like you today, you're seeking connection, right?
Yeah.
You a little, me and you a little bit. We give or take on it. But his generation, I'm looking point at Matty B. I think they're seeking it more than anybody.
Well,
There's
no,
validation in
yeah,
there.
yeah. About to say, we are seeking instant gratification and someone to say they're sitting in the mud with us just so we feel heard. That's just what this generation is. It's all it's all like, oh, I'm going to play the woe is me just to get attention. And I think it's just because of the culture.
They're not real altruistic.
No.
They're not altruistic.
I mean,
at all.
that's why you see my generation are the, I'll say, crazier ones, because it's just people feel ostracized because they just feel like, oh, no one talks to me, so no one must like me, and they get in their own head. And the music people listen to doesn't help them. Because, I mean, you look at the whole...
I think it's society, and anything society produces probably doesn't help.
But it doesn't help that they're listening to bands that wear all black sing about...
depressing stuff.
Yeah, and it's just... Yeah, and I think that I mean, the scripture says you are who you surround... It doesn't say it specifically, but...
You know why kids are depressed at the rate they are today? Sorry, finish your thought.
No, it's just people put too much. Well, to answer your question, I was pretty much done. But to answer your question is because they put too much pressure. They put too much of their values in what other people say.
Well, I was gonna say that they spend a lot of time doom scrolling in a world that has nothing to do with personal or interaction. And we were designed, created for social interaction.
Well, this is a good example of that.
I'm going to give you a helper.
Let me give you an example of that.
That's the beginning.
When we grew up in our day and age, when I got home from school, staying inside for the evening was the absolute worst thing that could have ever happened to me. And a number of times when I was punished as a child, I was like, you can't go outside for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I would go home and lay on my face in my bed and cry and ask God why my mother and father hated me.
That's the equivalent of saying no Xbox for a week.
They hated me to do something so evil to me. I needed to be on my bike, which, by the way, I've been into lately. We're talking about doom scrolling. I've been into these guys that rebuild BMX bikes from our generation, like GTs, Red Lines, Diamondbacks. I had a red line, and it was bad. It was
Pastor
bad.
Ryan mentioned Huffies in the sermon the other day.
Yeah, Huffies are I'm not sure of Pastor Ryan's age. I don't know if he knows. Maybe he doesn't. He's old enough. He should know. Huffies are not where it's at.
That was it wasn't Pastor Ryan. It was one of the other pastors. I'm not going to put him on blast, but
it was Pastor T.
Had
the Huffy. All right, Josh.
Well,
what was the second one?
I'm just saying, if you could buy it at Walmart, it wasn't a real BMX bike. But anyway, let's move along. Moving along.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. What'd you got for the one what's your next one on the list?
Build a fire, a shelter, and hunt.
I didn't have any of those on my list.
Neither did I.
Why did you say that?
Well, just imagine if you're stranded somewhere, the first thing you need to do is seek for water. Because real fast, that's more important than fire.
So survival skills.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
That's where I'm going. Survival skills.
That's the big umbrella.
You need water, shelter, fire, and then you have to be able to hunt.
How to make a fire without a lighter.
Mad I didn't put that. This is groupthink. But I didn't put it. Okay.
Matty B, give us another one.
Mine's another one. It goes off of what you said, leadership. And like I think where you were talking about having conversations.
You're saying it's a requirement, a top 5 requirement for all men today.
I would say yes, because you can't lead if you don't know how to lead,
you can't lead your family.
You can't lead your family, and that's y'all are both fathers, and we have a lot of dads that listen. That's your number one ministry is your children and pouring into them.
Listen to him, 26-year-old preaching.
Come on, dude.
If you're 26, listen up.
And
Matty B's raising the bar for you.
And if you don't know how to lead,
break that pen. It hadn't happened in about 30 episodes.
Yeah, it's coming.
And if you don't know how to lead, I think what you say, if you don't have them at your dinner table, the world will have it at theirs.
Oh yeah, you preaching now, son.
So I think that's what you need to be able to lead.
Wait a minute. Let's record scratch real quick. What about the dinner table?
I said, if you don't have your kids at yours, the world will have it at theirs. And then that's when they're going to fall into these.
If you don't have time to listen to the podcast, just listen to that over and over again on your drive.
Buddy, it'll hit you in like a train.
It will lay you out flat. If you don't have time to have your kids at the dinner table, the world will have your kids at their dinner table.
Oh, pick one.
You can end it right now, dude. We're done.
Yeah.
Skip church tomorrow.
Well, no, I think another one is like the dads that it's like you could think about it. There's no reason for you to treat your kid like be cold to them when you had a bad day at work, when you are in the middle of one of your own crises.
Okay.
You have to be that strong figure to be like, yeah, I didn't realize they were going through that because he was still present. He was there. No, there was no
to communicate.
Yeah, exactly. And it's pretty much you can't negatively impact your kid because what's going wrong in your life. Because once the Lord gave them to you, God entrusted you to like, hey, this is what you're being called to do now. Pour into them like I've poured into you.
Good stuff, Matty B. Leadership.
And so, I feel like leadership, you have to, because
we might cut that as our that's our reel for the week. You cut that for us. We'll put it up on the.
There's some, and that could spin off to some other things about manhood.
This is what I'm telling you. We got to put this kid. I'm signing you up for Big Brother.
This isn't manhood is not, and fatherhood and husbandhood. That's a thing.
Husbandry
that's like being a raiser of horses. That's called husbandry.
Is it? Are you kidding me?
Do you know you can get a degree? You can get a college degree in husbandry.
Really?
I'd have failed that course somewhere around year 11. I've just talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. Well, but the point is, like, as a father, as a husband, you are required to carry a heavy load, and no one cares.
Ooh.
Now, just hear me out.
Oh, no, I'm hearing you out.
Like all the things Matty B was just saying, you got to go to work and people are going to take from you. And people are going to be rough to you, and you've got to take that on the chin to some degree. You don't got to be a wuss or a pushover, but people are going to take from you for your skill, for your knowledge, for your experience, for your wisdom. Then you come home exhausted, and your other job is right in your face.
Your primary job.
Your wife, your children, and they're going to take from you. And here's an interesting thing. Here, you ready? Ready, wives? I'm going to lay y'all out on this one now. How about this? How many dads and husbands are accused of when they get home, he naps? That's what he does.
You heard that.
You know why dudes do that? Men sleep when they feel safe. So if you're a wife and your husband gets home and he's exhausted from a long day or a long week of putting in work at home, at the job site, whatever, and he crashes on that Saturday or that Sunday after church, right when you're ready to have a conversation with him and he can't keep his eyes open and you feel insulted, just know that that's the one place he feels safe enough that he doesn't have to just give and give and give to everyone who's been. So, hey, ladies, congratulations. Your man feels safe with you.
Let me tell you why I don't feel safe napping around my house anymore. The stupid dog has decided, Jet. And she's like my mini me, right? But every time I'm taking a nap, she has learned it's some bad habit, and I don't know where she got it from. It's kind of on her. I'm laying there, and she'll come up and she grabs that big wet nose, and she sticks her head under my arm or under my hand or anything else. Because like if I'm laying down or on the couch or something, she's literally laying right next to me. That's where her spot is, and I don't put her there. She lays there herself. But then like when she comes over initially, she always has to be greeted. Hey, I'm here. Moves, like wakes me up, puts her nose in my face, or moves or puts her head and wet nose like under my hand, like hard, like not just a little, like digs in and says, "Hey, bro, wake up. I'm here." You know what I mean? Okay, now that you've acknowledged me, I'm going to lay down next to you. That's why I don't feel safe taking a nap. Today I was trying to...
tell you what, that's pretty awesome though.
I was finding a way to like keep my arm like some kind of goofy position away from the edge of the couch so she couldn't have at it when I'm trying to sleep because she will not let you sleep. Anyway.
I love it. They're great.
Dogs are the greatest. All right, so...
Let's move along. My turn?
No, it's you went leadership. No, it's my turn now, okay. I think, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's one. This was the first one I put down. Landscaping, but that's like basic mechanical
folks,
knowledge.
Go ahead and take that right off your list.
Cutting your
take
grass.
it off your list.
Take it off your list.
Take it off your list. I live in the country. you can drive your car through my front yard or my backyard.
No.
That was a prerequisite when I bought my home. If I can't drive a pickup truck through my backyard, I don't want to live there.
Let me
Landscape, nothing. That's my dad's stuff. He likes to have a manicured lawn.
No,
you know
no.
what? I would like the lawn to die. I don't ever want to cut the grass. It's like making a bed. I'm going to get in it tonight. Why am I going to make it? It's ridiculous. I'm not cutting the grass.
This is why I have it on there.
He's a little teed on though.
I'm not saying it's because you have to have a well manicured lawn. I'm saying because if you don't even know how to use
how to cut your grass, how
a
to break
lawn
out
mower,
the weed eater.
if you have a yard and you can't cut it,
you're
a weenie.
That's fair.
If you can't start a lawnmower, because you don't know to prime it 10 times,
make sure
you're a weenie.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to use a weed eater, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
how to
come on.
restring a weed
No, you're
eater.
right.
Cut your grass. Know how to cut. Use a chainsaw. All that falls under this.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
You're
that's
talking
kind of
about
where
redeemed.
my mind meant where you went.
He's been redeemed.
When you said
the
lawn
chainsaw.
maintenance.
Yeah. Like cut wood.
Yeah.
Chop wood. All that I think falls under outdoor work.
How to take down a tree.
Okay.
Outdoor work. That's better way to say it. Like you had to fix a tree.
Okay. I'll
clean
give
up,
you that one.
Fix a tree. You mean
Like-
remove the tree?
potholes. Fix a tree. Fix your house or like a fence or something. Outdoor
Yeah.
work.
That's good. I could back that up.
You could,
Yeah.
okay, if you live in a condo and don't have grass, this may not be a top 5 for you, and that's fine. But I guess this a little bit like biased here because we all live in the country, which is becoming less country here in Stafford, by the way. That's why we're moving.
I know.
But camouflage isn't as cool as it used to be here.
No, it's still
But
cool.
I'm going to scratch it off. Outdoor work.
I like it. Okay.
Well, no, and I mean
That goes along with survival.
Yeah, no, and so like think about it. We live in Virginia. We get every once in a while we'll get a bad hurricane or a heavy snowstorm. If you lose power for a month, how are you going to keep your family warm?
Outdoor work always could, and also could encompass replace a shingle roof, right? Fix a fence, outdoor work.
That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a skill. You got to know how to do that.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Don't have soft hands, Josh.
No.
If you don't have calluses, you're doing something wrong.
I don't have as calluses like I used to. When my dad, I was growing up, he would work us, not like, I wouldn't say like dogs, but he expected us. If he's out working, we're expected to be there helping. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't sit in the, here's the thing, the cardinal sin in my house growing up was go ahead and be inside when
There's
work's
work to
happening.
be done. Yeah.
Exactly.
Ooh, yeah.
Go ahead.
You have that choice.
You can choose that, but you don't want to choose that.
No.
You would almost you would be shamed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Next one.
You're up. Yeah.
All right. So
And we'll
I've
start
got,
rippling through these. We got about 10 minutes.
I've got 2, and I'm just going to combine them because I think they fit. So this one. I don't want to get too spicy on it, but it might be. Save a life and take a life. So save a life. I was thinking basic first aid, but that might mean also save a life. Might also mean you have to take a life.
You just combined the last 2 I had.
And the one I wanted to combine with that was own and know how to use a weapon.
Boom. And
Yep.
4 and 5, I had self-defense, and I had parentheses, gun, hand-to-hand, etc. Because you got to defend yourself and your family.
Mm-hmm.
And number 5 is first aid. Like if your kid, I'm exactly there. If your child, think about this, is choking, let's go and extreme ends, and you don't know how to do the Heimlich, and they, this is for the sake of argument, and they die because you didn't know how to do basic first aid as the man of the household. I don't know, Josh. I'd say you'd have a hard time living with that.
The first time I did the only time I've ever done the Heimlich was at like an all-night diner, kind of like a Denny's or something, but it wasn't called that in Louisiana. I was with Holly and Cassidy, and we'd finished eating. Maybe we were just having coffee, hanging out or something. I don't think we were dating at the time. We were just friends. We might have been dating. And this dude in front of us, his wife, her back, we were like in a booth situation. Whoa, sorry. So Holly's in front of me. His wife's back was to Holly's back. So he was facing me essentially, right? And I saw this dude's color leave.
It just goes. And
His eyes opened up and he grabs his, all the signs of choking. And this woman just starts shaking and screaming help. And I just got the chills thinking of it.
Frisons.
Frisons.
So free zones.
And so I jumped up, and I'd never truly in an emergency situation done the Heimlich. I've been trained to do it. I was in the Army. I'd done basic first aid and combat lifesaver and all that kind of stuff. So I knew what to do, but I never faced it in real life, and this dude was choking. And so I did the Heimlich and I couldn't get this thing out. He was a big dude, older man. And I was like, all right, we're going to go for broke here because I'm either going to break a rib or he's going to die. But we'll break some ribs trying. If he dies, at least he'll die with broken ribs. I know I've done the best I can. I did the Heimlich again, and I went for broke one. Like I was like, I just want to make sure I feel his spine on my fist when I push in. And when I did that, man, there's no pretty way to say it. He hocked up this big chunk of unchewed steak and went flying across the room. And I was like, and then immediately hurting from the ribs. And he went outside and sat down on the curb, like on the sidewalk by the front door. And I walked out there and sat with him and asked if he was doing okay. He was fine. But I'll tell you what, driving home that day, it was kind of weird. It was like, that was a bit surreal. I don't know that actually really just happened. It almost feels fake in my head. But thank God I was there to do something.
Bingo.
Because the reality is his wife and Holly, my now wife, were far too small to do that. This guy was he wasn't much larger than me, but he's a full-size man,
chest,
big, burly guy. But they wouldn't have been able to do it. So somebody needed to be there.
And Holly's like, that's my man.
And that might have been what hooked her. I don't know.
He's balanced that out today with this dishwasher escapade.
Yes.
Oh, she was all in. Her and Catherine knew. They were proud.
We're proud.
Yeah, and so I think basic first aid is a big one. You got to know it, and you can't just say I want to know it. You need to apply yourself to that. There's some training.
CPR, if you're, God forbid. I'll tell you,
splint a leg. Can you do an IV? I did my first one. I don't think we have time for it.
Yeah, even if you coach sports, like I've seen people have horrific injuries. Like you're calling 911, you're bracing them, like horrific. I had a tie. A guy got spiked. This actually is a good lesson. A guy got spiked at third base, and I think it was in his arm. Like he was trying to tag him, and he got like metal spiked, and on his wrist, it started bleeding bad. And Ty wasn't even in the game. We were watching from the sidelines. This was at North Stafford High. He works in the law enforcement, we'll say. He ran to his car, like sprinted. He was ready. Talk about a guy ready. And popped the trunk and brought in his to-go bag, and it had like clotting powder. It had like obviously the tourniquet, but he had like the bandages and like he had everything he needed to treat that injury, not knowing.
How bad?
But he was ready.
That dude was bleeding everywhere, and I'm not saying he'd have bled out, but it wasn't pretty. It was bad, dude.
Yeah,
like it was deep and bad. Like it was real bad. He'd probably passed out from blood loss, but he'd got that quick clot, and like quick the other things, like and he got it. Stop pressure, and you also know like basic first aid, like apply pressure on the pressure points, keep the bleed. You know what I mean? Like all these things. That kid was like, he had no idea that was, it was a high school, like 18, 16-year-old kid. And his parents, they didn't know anything. Coaches, somebody did, right? Be the guy that does. Man, first aid and self-defense, like you hadn't, God forbid, that you are in an incident where your house is penetrated by somebody that isn't supposed to be there. What are you going to do? Like, did you ever, how many times, maybe because we're goofed, we're messed up, but like, you know how many times pretty much every night, I've replayed in my head, what does this look like?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Walked it out, mental, chair fluid. And I'm like, I know where the weapons are. Like, I know what I do.
What's
I think
the obvious
I know.
Point of
how
entry?
long
I'm
does
like,
it
Christina,
take?
I don't like the side of the bed you sleep on because it's closer to the door.
Yep.
I need to be there, but she doesn't care because he's closer to the bathroom. And so, but I've played this out. Like, how am I going to put up a defense? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And maybe we're just weirdos, but like, if you don't think about it beforehand, it's not going to go well in the moment.
No, you're going to default to your lowest level of training.
And you said that earlier, like we don't want violence, but you need to be prepared for violence. You said that earlier.
Yep.
And you never know who that violence will need to be for.
Yep.
You or someone else.
Jeez, man, no kidding.
And it could be someone that's really close to you.
But
and
if you're and if you're not prepared for that violence, someone will take the
go.
offensive.
Yep.
A warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war.
Mm-hmm.
Be the warrior in a garden.
Sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs.
Yeah.
That's what our boys in blue, our friends in blue say. You gotta be a sheepdog.
Yeah.
Like you can
gotta
lay there
be.
and sleep all night right next to them without any concerns. But when them wolves come,
It's only you.
it's just you.
And don't worry what the sheep say about how the wolf dog does his job.
Yeah, you shouldn't concern yourself with.
No, with their
That's
banter.
a few good men. With the blanket of protection, yeah. The blanket of freedom that I let you live under. Anyway,
That's right.
you want me on that wall.
You need me on that wall.
So yeah, I had those two: self-defense and first aid. All right, Matty B, what do you have that we didn't hit yet?
No, I think that pretty much hit it all.
Oh, you got those covered. All right, what do you got left, Josh?
That was all mine.
That was it. There we go. So let's recap. I had outdoor work, how to have a conversation with young men or kids, your kids. 3, basic mechanical knowledge. 4, self-defense. 5, first aid. What did you have, Matty B? And what
I
did you,
had
Josh?
car maintenance, de-escalate situations, leadership / people skills, and then regular home maintenance.
Okay.
I had basic car maintenance, build a fire, a shelter, and hunt. Fix household stuff. Own and use a weapon. Tell the truth and communicate well. And the bonus was save a life and take a life. Basic first
I
aid.
like that a lot.
Hey, I have one more thing. Going back to your car maintenance, y'all are both fathers of daughters. Has it ever crossed your mind that what happens if something happens to her car and she's on the side of the road? How like the things, because people in this world are crazy lunatics.
It's happened to me.
Yeah. So just being able to, if you don't know how to change a tire, how do you expect her to? And being
you have to
stranded on
teach
the
her.
side of the road.
You've got to teach her to do it.
Yeah, I think you've just filled up my Sunday afternoon
But
with
the-
that task.
You're going to teach it, but the first thing you teach her is you call me first.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Call me,
before
stay
you-
in your car. I'm on the way.
The minute you see that you've got to put the hazard lights on, you should be dialing my phone
Call-
number.
and then that goes back to basic mechanical knowledge.
Exactly.
Because
Defense.
I'll tell you what, we're plagued with having daughters and they're beautiful, all of them. And there's creeps out there that are going to pull over and say, let me help you, girl. Let me tell you something. That's okay. My dad is almost here.
Yep.
That's the
Yes,
answer.
pull under a lighted area
Yep.
and lock the doors.
My
I'll
dad-
be there. I
my-
don't care if I have to
that's
replace
right.
the rim.
Yep. You can roll that rim the whole
Roller.
way into the Walmart or whatever gas
Pull
station
into a parking lot where it's heavily crowded.
and stay in the car.
And lights are on.
And
yeah.
I'm on the
and
way.
stay in-
And
yep.
then that's when you need some 3 a.m. friends.
Yep.
Because if you're out of town,
Hey, I can't get
you
there.
want to
but-
know there's some dudes that will
Yeah,
do
good
violence
point.
on your behalf that are saying, hey, nothing I have going on is that important for this. I'm on the way.
Yeah,
well, I
no
mean,
doubt.
that goes back to that self-defense too. Pepper
Yep.
spray. Hit
Yeah.
them once while they're in the disarray. Aim for the sweet spot.
Yep.
Leave them to dust. Get inside, lock, call 911.
How about it? All right. So if you liked our list, cool. Let us know. If you don't like our list, if you think something should be added onto it, choicepodcastshow@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook or the YouTubes.
And if you're interested in cooking a steak, check out the episode before this one because, man, well, it may not be before. At 89. Check out 89. There's some great tips on steaks.
Yeah, how about that? All right. Remember this, friends. Men of the world, they follow trends. Men of the faith and men who like to do these top 5 tasks most of the time, Josh.
They follow truth. Make your choice.